So this podcast is going to be a little freewheeling because we are friends legitimately. And it's like hard for me to like put on my host hat right now because I'm talking to my friend.
In my 30s.
Welcome to the In My 30s podcast. We have a very special guest today, my good friend, Jess Ivy Hunt.
Where do I look at this camera?
You can look at that camera or just look at me. So Jess came in from Alabama. I thought we'd start with how we met. We're both in our 30s, so it makes sense that she's on the podcast today. You're the most on-brand guest I've had recently. Mm-hmm. So yeah, we became good friends in New York when I left Nashville for a minute. And I wouldn't have met you had I not like had this calling to go to New York in 2014. And you were already there for how long?
2014. I was there for a few years before that.
Okay.
Yeah.
And you're originally from Tennessee.
I'm originally from Tennessee, yes.
Jess is a super creative person, studied comedy and acting and worked in the film and TV industry in New York. And
then I saw you at Equinox.
So we waited tables together.
We worked together at Southern. And then I saw you like from across the way at Equinox. And I was like, yeah.
So you kind of like, I thought you were so cool. And so I was kind of intimidated by you.
Oh.
But so the backstory is we worked together at a restaurant called Southern Hospitality, which it was a Justin Timberlake concept along with Aton. And I guess we were both drawn to the restaurant because it was like Justin Timberlake or something.
Yeah.
And we became friends there. And like, I remember meeting you, like every restaurant I worked, I never really hung out with people. And like we connected.
Yes.
And I was like, okay, you're cool and you're nice to me. Because I feel like I get kind of bullied in restaurants. Like I'm just like corny to people in restaurants. But so you were super nice to me. And I was like, I want to be your friend.
But it was like really brief in New York. You came to my birthday party.
I don't even remember that. Where was the birthday party?
It was in my apartment. It was like 6 floors up on Sullivan Street.
Oh my gosh.
You lived in
Soho?
Yeah.
I have sort of the best memory and the most terrible memory at the same time. So
yeah,
I don't
my
remember.
mom and I threw like a birthday party and all like a bunch of my girlfriends came over and I'm pretty sure you
probably
stopped
came.
by.
But
then you moved to Nashville shortly
moved back
after
to Nashville,
that.
yeah. Okay, I wanted to take my shoes off.
And then a few years passed and I moved to Nashville and that's when we really got close.
Like that time in New York was so fun because we were still in our 20s. Mm-hmm. And I just remember getting out of Southern Hospitality at like 3 a.m. And I would have $600 in cash from working a double.
Oh, yeah.
And I would walk to Alphabet City with $600 in cash on me at 3 in the morning.
Mm-hmm. And I was never afraid.
No. And now I think I would be afraid.
Yeah.
And back then I wasn't.
No. And like I would walk all the way down the west side, like over like all those avenues, like 9th Avenue, just I don't think that's a very safe area now.
No. Wait, did you grow up always wanting to live in New York? Was that like the plan?
I wanted to go into acting and I was thinking about Los Angeles. And then I started looking into New York and like the comedy scene and it just felt right, like to study acting in New York.
So when you first got to New York, you went to school for a bit. And what town are you from in Tennessee?
West Tennessee, Savannah, Tennessee.
Which is near Memphis, right?
Yeah, it's close to, actually, I just like to say it's like 40 minutes from Muscle Shoals, Alabama.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, people know Muscle Shoals.
So then you go to New York and you want to focus on comedy?
Mm-hmm. So I did, I took like acting classes and then I was like, I really want to get into the comedy scene. So I started taking classes at UCB, Upright Citizens Brigade, the Magnet, the Pit. Then I tried stand-up.
The fact that you did stand-up always blows my mind.
Yeah, I can't believe you did that. I can't believe it either. It's
brave. Very brave.
But I met so many cool people. I mean, just in that world. Yeah.
I think it's so interesting, too, because you had this whole, like, you were such a free spirit when we met, and you still are, obviously, but you did not have kids. You were not married. So it was just such a different version of you that I met in the beginning, but you're still that person. And we're going to get into that, like how you got even more back to that person. But okay, so you did Upright Citizens Brigade, you did stand up. What was like your favorite part of that?
Learning about your voice and like what's in you, what you can bring out. Creating characters and improv was fun because you get on stage and you're yes-anding and it's been so long since I've done it, but it's where like a character comes out of you and it's like, who was that? And it's kind of like, I guess, Bathtub Man or Trashy Tracy Lynn or
Are some of your characters?
some of my characters.
Yeah.
And I'm like, where did she come from? And like, you know, when you're on stage, you just, it's like, oh, holy crap. Like that is someone that I can, it's hard to describe, but,
it comes out of you on stage.
it comes out on stage.
Yeah.
And the more you do it, the more you're like, oh, I can use that voice. Like you fun, like Trashy Tracy Lynn, like
So if you go to Instagram, you can find trashy Tracy Lynn,
she's
right?
not active. Yeah, she's not active on social media other than like she's liking my stuff and supporting me. Improv like helped me start creating characters, which I didn't know that I wanted to do until like I wanted to study acting. I'm not I realize now like I'm not an actor. I create characters. What's the word for that? Like a character actor, like white trash. I can play some white trash or some like bitchy like French woman.
Yeah. So you were drawn to comedy and acting and the arts, basically.
Yes,
You've always just been creative.
Mm-hmm.
And so, because I feel like doing improv and especially Upright Citizens Brigade, like that has to take some fearlessness. I feel like I would be I've always wanted to act, but I have a lot of fear, like we were talking about earlier.
Mm-hmm.
The groups of people who act, I felt like I never fit in with.
Same.
And so doing improv or doing a group thing, like I felt like I was always a musician and I trusted that, but acting felt like I didn't belong there, but I've always wanted to do it. And I feel like it takes fearlessness that I had when I was a kid that I don't know how to access now.
Yes.
So were you just fearless?
I was fearless, like so bold. And like almost too bold because I would get up there and like before you know like how to like they would be like, tell us what you just really hate. Like what's something you just really hate? And I remember I was like, I hate it when I get constipated. And like I just like went into details and like it's like that's too much information. Like don't tell them that that's what you hate. But like I just had no filter whatsoever and like shock value. But like getting up on stage like that, I met people in advertising and marketing and finance, like people that were there to take classes to get more comfortable in their positions, you know, that they held. I mean, I think improv is great for any person, regardless if you're interested in or if you're going to be in, you know, on stage. It just helps you be more comfortable in any room that you're in.
Yeah. Do you feel like you have that same fearlessness still?
For a while, I think it went away and I thought, oh, I'll never get this back. And then, you know, getting your heart broken by, you know, an industry that you love. And also just becoming a mom, like you're no longer the star. Like, so I just kind of, you know, had babies and left that world and just kind of like found myself, but also kind of lost myself.
Yeah.
And my boys are now 5 and almost 2.5, and I'm finding like my voice again as a creative.
I think I don't even know if we've ever had this conversation, but I think that's part of my fear around family, having my own family and having kids. Mm-hmm. I've always felt like this has to happen, like the music has to happen, because I watched women in my own family, like they had these dreams, and I felt like, you know, having 6 kids or 3 kids or whatever, it always felt like they had to put their dreams aside. And I feel like now we live in a different time where it's very common that, you know, a woman is pursuing something that she wants to do. I think I have to like work through that stuff. And honestly, like seeing you put out so much content that is your creation, I feel like you give me hope because you're able to juggle it all. And that's why I was asking you earlier, like, how do you juggle it all? Because it is a lot to be raising babies. It's a lot of work.
I think I had that same thought, and I haven't thought about it in years, but it was like, I've got to do this before I have a family one day.
That's how I felt. Yeah.
Yeah. And it's actually now I'm just like, wait, I put everything, like I set it all aside and, you know, and now it's like, where I've been and like having these little boys, like they inspire me, and like you create more from you create more from having them, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
There's a blogger about who talks about like you lose your color as a flamingo or whatever when you have babies.
I heard
Do you
there was
know
a
what I'm talking about?
flamingo.
You lose your color.
Yeah.
And like I have felt like that so many times. And then all of a sudden your color comes back. It does come back. You're raising babies and you're giving them everything. Pouring into them.
Yeah.
And I mean, there was like times where I was like, I'll never create again. Like I have nothing to give. Like, I mean, I've been at family events and stuff and said 2 words and thought, what's wrong with me? Because I was just so exhausted.
Mm-hmm.
Like, we get to Thanksgiving and I'm like, take off, boys. And I sit down and I'm just like, trying to like recover from.
But then it's like
wild
because you have your family and that groundedness, but also life experience, I feel like it gives you more to pull from. Because even as I've been single and I have all this time to myself and everything, it's like I have plenty of hours or days where I'm like, who am I kidding? Or like, I don't feel like creating. Or like, so I think now I've realized, why was I so afraid of going there? I don't need to be. It's always going to come up for me. I know that. But I don't want to wait anymore. So that's why I'm like, okay, like, where's my husband? Where is my husband? Now I'm like at that point. But anyway, I just admire that you really just went for it. And because I felt like your New York life was so different. And then you met your husband and it was like,
I mean,
a whole new life.
I left Nashville to go into medical sales, which was also like horrible for me. I feel like
you're kind of fearless. Like you just go for it.
Yeah. I mean, I went into corporate medical sales. So I was in a corporate office in a cubicle and I thought I would die in there. Like I needed a space to be creative and I was like so trapped there.
Yeah.
And then I went into the wine and liquor industry and sold, worked with restaurants and bars and sold spirits. And that was a fun job. Like it was such a good company. I loved my team and it was great for when I started having babies because it was such a flexible job, but there was creativity there. Yeah. Still not the kind of creativity I wanted.
You wanted.
And, should we go into like the whole?
Yeah. I was thinking how to get into it. In New York, you went through a really difficult experience working for someone and it really informed the rest of your path. And it made you feel like you didn't want to even do entertainment anymore because you saw the true dark side of the industry and it kind of ruined it for you.
It did.
And you felt like it stole your spark, I think is what we talked about. And now you feel like you've gotten it back, but it's been a long time and since you felt like that. So do you want to talk about, you don't obviously not like what happened necessarily, but like what was the progression from New York to now your life in Alabama where you kind of shifted gears because of that experience?
Pretty quickly when I moved to New York, this situation happened and I was still creating, but it took from me like what I wanted to do. And I found myself like feeling just so lost and like what, I don't have anything to give anymore. So I was like, I've got to get out of here and I want to finish my degree and I want to get into medical sales. I want to do something so different than storytelling and creating.
Because you saw the dark side.
And
and so you, after that, you really had no interest in creativity because it just ruined it for you that much.
Pretty much. And I tried when I moved to Nashville, like you and I played with like style and
you had your
stuff.
blog.
Yeah. And I wanted to go into that, but I started telling myself such negative things like, you're not good enough. You can't do this. You don't have talent. Don't try that. So it was like, I wanted to do something that's just like, if you do this, you're going to get here, just by the books. So I got into medical sales. I was so miserable. I deleted all my creative work because I was like, this isn't good. And it's just like lies that I told myself.
Yeah.
And then I left medical sales, got into my other job. Then we moved into a new house.
Yeah.
That was a flip. That was a disaster.
So that was the most recent. Oh, and before we get there, I want to say like, I think a lot of women have this experience of these pivotal moments in their life where something happens that they didn't expect, and it can kind of ruin things for them.
Mm-hmm.
And I have had my own experiences that sort of have almost ruined music for me.
Mm-hmm.
And I feel like I don't want it to. Because it felt like if I do that, I'm leaving my calling.
Yes,
Did you feel like there was a calling
I
that was being?
did.
Because I kind of admire that you were able to flip and do something else, because it that was like brave too, to be able to do that. I guess I just wanted to say, like, I feel like this happens a lot, and I
Mm-hmm.
feel like nobody shares it. So I appreciate you talking about it even a little bit.
Like calling, yeah. Like I feel like I have always had a calling, just like you have.
Yeah.
And like we're all created differently. Like we have our own magic, and like, oh, I stopped believing in myself and just had all these like negative thoughts. And then like what I wanted to do, I thought, oh my gosh, I can't do this. My spark is gone. I'm not going to make it. I'm no good. Left New York, moved to Nashville, finished at Belmont, got into medical sales, so unhappy, got married, had babies.
Yeah.
Life was good.
Yeah.
And then we moved into a home that was flipped. And 2 months after moving in, we found, well, our basement flooded with sewage, and we had to gut it. And basically that opened a can of worms to other areas in the house. We found mold in our bedroom wall, and it backed up to our dining room wall. So we had to strip those out. When we tore those walls down, that's like when I started thinking I need to take down some walls that I built up in my own body. And my surgery, we have so much.
We have so much to talk about.
I had a surgery, and it's like that was a big deal. Moving was a big deal. Then your basement flooding, and then finding mold. All these big things. Like my nervous system was just in fight or flight, and it took me back to that time in my life when that moment happened that kind of ruined
The situation happened that ruined entertainment for you.
That ruined entertainment, yeah.
And it was like it dug up all these things that you had kind of
that
pushed aside. Yeah.
Swallowed, like pushed down.
Yeah.
Like, I'm not going to deal with this. And so stripping back those walls, getting rid of that toxic stuff in our home helped me to get to a point where I'm like, I've got to get rid of this stuff I've held on to for all these years that like took me 15 years to like heal from. And I woke up in the middle of the night in our house. And I mean, I wasn't sleeping. Like I was like, oh, anxiety. Like it was just like, what's going on with our house? Are our kids okay? And everything was like caught early. So it was no big deal. But I woke up in the middle of the night and I just heard like a Bible verse, and it was like follow it. I thought, oh, I'm not going to look into it. But I woke up the next day and I was like, what was that verse? I guess I should look it up. And it just clearly said, follow me.
Yeah.
And it was like God was getting my attention. It just, it came down to like he was trying to get my attention so that he could help me heal from something that I had not healed from. And, I would go for my runs with my ear pods in, and I just felt like he was saying, take those out, stop running, walk through the forest, go slow, just move really slowly, walk along the water, where I can be your friend. And I kept looking for friends, and I could not connect. And
because you moved into a new neighborhood.
We did, yeah.
Like part of town.
And really it was just, I feel like it was just God saying, be with me. You don't need to make any new friends right now. Like that will come, but I want you to slow down and just be with me right now, because I am your real friend.
Yeah. So you went through a lot. So we skipped ahead, and I didn't realize we did, but and we'll get to this part, but you had surgery, preventative.
I had prophylactic mastectomies, like preventative double mastectomies, because I'm BRCA positive.
So that plus moving into a new house that then flooded with sewage. And it was like you were going through so much at once.
It was just like this roller coaster.
Yeah.
And I found myself like every time I would meet someone, I would get really anxious. And I'm like, that's not me. I'm not afraid of people. I'm not nervous around anyone. but like it just kept happening. And I mean, I think that it was just my nervous system, just like, this isn't a safe environment for you. Like nothing is safe.
Yeah.
And
Which makes sense because it was just one thing after the
one
next.
thing after another. And I felt so crazy. And I finally like feel like myself again. But I've never had like that kind of anxiety. And I've even like, like I'm aware of my coffee intake now because I'm like, I don't want to set that off.
But it's cool that you recognized in the moment that like these life situations were bringing up something that you grew from. Like, I feel like a lot of people just go through things and they're like, that was crazy. But I feel like you had this whole awakening that cleared a lot. Like you said, tearing down the walls in the house helped tear down the walls in you.
Yeah.
And like the fact that you even recognize that is kind of remarkable, and that you were able to do it. And now you feel like you've gotten into this place where you can be creative again. Like, so, and those experiences you had in New York they kind of shut you down that way for a while.
They did. And I remember I left Nashville, and I mean, we would talk about, I had several creative friends and you were one of them. And, you know, I just remember saying, I'll never, ever do comedy again.
Yeah.
And then now I'm kind of like playing around.
I'm just so happy because obviously I was happy for you that you got married and had kids and did all that, but I knew who you were. And I was like, well, you did stand up. You can't just not be that person anymore. And I'm just so glad that that's like back in you and like you want to tap into it again. Your new series on Instagram that you're doing is called...
It's Welcome to My Record Shop Closet, and then my series is Outfits That Feel Like Songs.
Okay. So this is like you stepping back into your creativity, and I feel like a lot of people can relate to this because I feel like creativity ebbs and flows. No matter what you go through in life, it's like there are points where you are super creative and inspired, and then there are points like there are lulls, and the fashion thing came back for you.
I think, okay, so my friend Samantha and I, we were like, let's meet up in New York. We were both really like just having a hard time. And I just needed a friend, and she did too. So we met up in New York, and I remember packing my clothes, looking in the mirror and like trying different shoes on with different outfits. And I was like, none of this works. None of this looks right. Like it's just not right. And I thought, why would I say that? Because I feel like I can pull together a look so easily, like effortlessly, like. So I was like, what's wrong with me? But then we got to New York with all of our clothes, and we started just playing. We went out to dinner, and like the energy in like Soho and the West Village, it just kind of brought me back to life. And like Ace Frehley, he died that weekend, and Kiss, like one of the members of Kiss. And this, like, I wanted to like pull a song out and like do an outfit with it as we were walking down the streets of Lower Manhattan. And it was back in the New York groove. And it was like, I'm back. I'm back here.
Making me want to go right now.
I know. I'm back here, and this feels right. And it's like I'm inspired again. So just doing that and shooting footage with my friends who are also creative, and not feeling like something was wrong with me for wanting to do that. It just kind of opened this whole, like it brought me back to life. And I started creating and posting stuff, and I'm sure people were like, what is she doing?
And so we talk a lot about that. Like you want to post, but you don't want to be judged, and that's hard to get past. But it seems like you're just doing
the more you do it, the easier it gets. And then also going to therapy for the first time. Like, no one cares what you're doing. Nobody cares that you have a fake cigarette that you're smoking on your page, except for your grandmother and your mom. But just taking those negative thoughts that stop you from sharing, like let those float up into a cloud. And the more you do that, you recognize those negative thoughts. And you let those go. Release those. And then focus on like, I can do this. I can create this business. I am business minded, instead of saying, I don't have that in me. I have to work on that.
I'm in the middle of that now, where it's like, I know I have a thing about money, where I have this fear that I'm always going to be bad at money, because it's like I'm great with ideas and creativity, but I'm so afraid of signing a bad deal or making a bad deal. And even today, I stopped the deal I was going to do because I just felt like, no, this isn't right for me. And I know it's not. And I'm trying to be agreeable.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't want to do this just to be agreeable and liked. Like, I need to figure this out now. And so it's like you're trying to tell yourself, like, no, I'm not that person that my negative
Mm-hmm.
thoughts are telling me I am. Like, I am capable of making a good deal, or I am capable of having a business, like you're saying, or whatever. So if you're not following Jess, go find her at, what's your handle?
Jess Ivy Hunt, JessIvyHunt.
And you can see all her cool looks, and you have like a knack for fashion for sure.
There's humor in it. It's not some of the stuff you wouldn't wear, and definitely wouldn't wear in my city in Alabama.
What I love about you, I feel like this is what I love about you. You are so kind and approachable, but you're so beautiful. I'm not trying to just like gas you up right now. Like, I think I was always intimidated by you when I met you. And because you have this like natural, effortless style, and you're gorgeous, but then you're like so kind and warm. And it's like, it's rare to find people like that. Because sometimes you think people like that are kind of snobs, and you're not.
Thank you.
And you really do have this like gift for fashion and creativity. And it is fun. It's really fun to watch your Instagram. Like, I can't wait to see where it goes, because I want you to take me on like a let's get Emma out of all black shopping trip, because I feel like you'd put together a cool outfit.
We can go to East Nashville and play around. This
is just our very first podcast, and we're such good friends that I feel like I can't even like do this appropriately, because I'm like talking to my friend.
You're out of storage over there.
I'm out of storage.
And we have we have so much to talk about.
Anyway, I am really excited to see the stuff that you're doing, because I feel like it's something that you're going to build on, and you really do have a knack for style and stuff. So where do you see it going? Like right now it's the record shop closet.
Welcome to my record shop closet is like, I mean, it's a place to play, and I did not know where I wanted to go with it, but I feel like styling. I mean,
yeah.
I don't know if it's styling for just anyone. It's like musicians or artists trying to create a persona.
Yeah.
To create, a vibe. I'm not really sure.
Yeah, I can definitely see you styling. You really do. You put unique things together, and I really actually do want you to style me, because sometimes I feel like I used to know, and now I'm a little lost. Like, so that's why I just wear all black all the time.
I know you so well, so I know the brands. Like, I know the brands that you like.
Yeah.
And I know, like, it's like I need to sit and I just need to, like, bask in your music and pretend I don't know you.
Yeah.
But there's, like, the pink dress that I brought, and then the cream dress that's like a bubble that's similar to the pink one I brought. I think of you. And it's just soft, and it's kind of Miu Miu.
Yeah.
High fashion, but just playful and simple.
Yeah. I like kind of minimal. And
yes.
We're actually going to dinner at Pasties in a second. This is like my most casual podcast I've ever done, because I'm with my legitimate friend. So before we go to dinner, we are going to talk about a couple things on the podcast, and I'll edit it all so it's smooth. Because this is the In My 30s podcast, I thought that this would be a good conversation. Your experience being tested for the BRCA gene, and you ended up having surgery and getting a double mastectomy.
So that's definitely something to talk about in your 30s, because people are diagnosed with breast cancer. I mean, it's all the time.
Yeah. So what led to that whole process?
So my grandmother died she was in her early 50s. She had ovarian cancer, and it came out of nowhere. So at that time they were like, why the siblings need to be checked to see if they have this gene she has, the BRCA gene. My mom was the only one of the 3 siblings who had this gene. So they started I was like 15, 14, 13 when my grandmother died. And then my mom started being monitored, and every 6 months she would go in. They ended up finding breast cancer, but it was like the size of a dime. It's nothing they would have found for years if she weren't being monitored because of her gene.
Yeah.
So they did the double mastectomies on her with immediate breast reconstruction. And I knew, like, I needed to be tested I think that was like when I was 15 or 16. And I knew I would do that one day. And sure enough, when I was like 27, I think I went in to be tested. I was also BRCA positive. Then I started going in every 6 months for like 4 or 5 years, something like that. And I was like, when I'm done having babies, I'm going to have this taken care of, just like my mother did. So a couple years ago, almost 2 years ago, I guess, I did it after I had my second child. It was kind of abrupt. I was like, I'm going to do this. I'm ready for it. And I didn't think a lot. I wasn't quite ready for like adjusting to my new boobs. Like they're pretty and they're very firm, and my nipples are always like, because I think the implant pushed them out. I can't really do anything about it.
Did the doctor say that's normal?
I guess for someone with like not a lot of like fat or something.
Yeah,
but I was
yeah.
like, I guess it's a good thing. I'm okay with it. I always wanted that to be the case when I was like younger. So yeah, I had that surgery done for peace of mind. I don't regret it at all, but it's an adjustment. And I mean, obviously, like I have had an 85 chance.
It was 85%
85% chance of developing breast cancer. So like,
so if you test positive for BRCA, the BRCA gene,
yes,
it's basically almost.
It's so high. I mean, it is so high. So it's kind of like you can keep monitoring, and we'll be on it every 6 months. So if we find something, we could do a lumpectomy or, I saw my mom's process and I was like, I'm going to do the same thing. I think that's the smartest thing you can do. And also you're not worrying about it every few months.
Yeah.
Because there was like a few times where they were like, we think we see something. And I would go for an MRI, and then it turned out not to be anything. And once I had the surgery, the hardest part about it was the drains that you have to wear. And I think I did 2 different surgeries. But the first surgery, they removed all my breast tissue, immediate breast reconstruction. My doctor put straight implants in instead of expanders because that's supposed to be more comfortable. But they weren't perfect. I wasn't happy with them, but I knew that I was told they'll redo them a second time. So that wasn't fun knowing I had to do a second surgery, but I was really happy with the results after I had my second surgery. And after each surgery, the drains are like here, and they're like long straws, and it drains the fluid off of, it's necessary.
Yeah.
But they're so uncomfortable, and it's hard to take a bath.
How long do you have to wear them?
I think like 10 days.
Oh, wow.
With each surgery. That was like the most difficult part, and that wasn't that bad. But it just, after babies, my boobs were like, no good, like little triangles.
So it was kind of a good thing.
It was a good thing. Like I have to remind myself, like adjusting to this new set of boobs, like I have to remember like how they were post babies, and like, you've gone through the hard part. Like this is a good thing. Like I want to be here for my children.
Yeah. And that was like one of the main reasons I was like, this would be a good conversation for the podcast, because it is the In My 30s podcast. And the fact that I know you and you went through this, it makes me realize like I need to go get tested. Like my grandmother died of breast cancer, but I did ask my OBGYN about it the last time I saw her. And she was like, you have to go get genetic testing. She gave me some form, but then my insurance stopped covering that hospital because United Healthcare like changed a lot of, so I like lost my doctors, and that was in August or something. So I need to go find a new doctor and like follow up with that because, and I will do that because we're having this conversation. But again, like another brave thing you did, like to even go through with all that. But I think it's the best thing you can do if I didn't realize the likelihood was so high if you don't do it.
It is. And then just,
So basically you have to, they knew about your history, so they kind of helped you along.
They took it so seriously. The moment, because of the family history, they were ready for me to get tested.
Yeah. But
and
someone like me, I think I had to ask.
You have to really push for it.
You have to push for it, yeah. At first, I wanted you to just come on here and talk about that because I thought a lot of people it would be useful and educational, because I feel like a lot of people don't know that they need to take it so seriously.
And it's so scary too when you find I'm here if anyone ever needs to talk to someone because they're thinking about doing it.
Yeah.
That helped so much tracking down other women who've done the surgery
Yeah.
to just talk to them and know that they were okay. And like my mom was helpful, but I wanted to talk to somebody in their 30s
Yeah.
with small children in the
Yeah.
same situation as me. Like, when can you hold your baby again? Like, what's the downtime?
Yeah.
What are your boobs like? Like, yeah.
Yeah.
In my 30s.
So this podcast is going to be a little freewheeling because we are friends legitimately. And it's like hard for me to like put on my host hat right now because I'm talking to my friend. We both have some insecurity about posting online.
But we have to remember we were made the way that, like, it's not on purpose, that we are the way that we are. And it's
Yeah.
okay to share and
Yes.
create and like.
But it's funny because sometimes the people closest to you don't support it the way you
Yes.
want them to because they're uncomfortable with it.
Yes.
And I think that's hard. And so you have to like get past that. I'm like, if you want to unfollow me, go for it. Like, I want my family and friends to never find my account, but
Yeah.
they know it. And I'm posting the same song I've been posting for 5 years. Like, and I'm going to keep doing that. And sometimes it is hard because people think you're like all business all the time or like all whatever your thing is all the time. And so it's hard to get past that. But that's why I like having, like, you and I, we know the end game. So we support each other.
Yes. It's like, yeah, it's like just getting a message from someone like your grandmother, like, you're a princess, you know, in my eyes, you are so sweet and so innocent, and you're a good example, and you're a wife and your mother. And I'm like, is this because I had that fake cigarette and I was like cracking a joke with it? Like,
Yeah.
I didn't delete it because I wanted to test the waters.
I know.
And it got a lot of views. It got a heck of a lot more views. And then my silly mom humor gets way more views than outfits that feel like songs. But outfits that feel like songs is like what I want to take somewhere.
Yeah.
But you have to like test it and play. And remember, they're not your target audience.
Yeah.
I am not a bad person because I tried that. I'm not doing anything that goes against, I'm not doing anything sinful. I'm testing comedy. Like, let me do that. What'd you guys watch on Netflix yesterday? Like, what kind of scene did you watch? I mean,
Yeah.
I'm not doing anything bad. Like, what are you viewing behind closed doors?
I know. I don't know why there's so much resistance there. I mean, I think some people are used to it now, and then other people, it's just a hard thing. But I'm glad to have friends like you that also do it, because it's, as long as you have like one person that gets it, then I feel like that's permission enough sometimes.
And to like check in, because sometimes you just get so like, what am I doing?
Yeah.
But then if you have the conversation with the right person, they're like, I know what you're doing. I understand what you're doing. That's part of it.
Yeah. Like I was saying earlier, I don't know necessarily why I'm doing the podcast. And then I also feel like musically, like I jump around, but it's like, I like to create things. I like all forms of media. When I was a little kid, I did this whole project on Johnny Carson because I loved the Johnny Carson show and I loved him. But by the way, it wasn't even on. Like, I was just obsessed with like hosts and Oprah Winfrey. And like, yes, I still am a musician, but I like to explore different avenues.
That's what an artist is.
Yeah.
You create and you fail and you create and you like, like the first few things I shot and like put on my Instagram, like my dad was like, he made a comment and then he was like, I didn't know that would upset you so much. He was like, I just wanted you to know Facebook's the most judgmental place. Maybe not share that on Facebook. And I was like, okay, maybe that's true. But like, I'm trying to figure out what I'm doing, and to do that, anyone creating is going to have to like start somewhere.
Yeah.
So you have to like use your voice, and then it kind of takes you into like, oh, I'm going to create these personas.
Yeah.
Like, I'm going to throw myself on the floor and shake my boots and put the Rolling Stones on, and then all of a sudden it's like, wait, I'm going to do something like with outfits and music.
Yeah.
But you have to play.
I think your concept that outfits that feel like songs is so smart and cool, because I've never heard of that. I've never heard of someone styling something based on a song ever.
I mean, I feel like people do it like subconsciously.
Maybe subconsciously.
But like every time I put together a look, it's just like, this is a little weird. This reminds me of like MGMT or the Beastie Boys.
Yeah.
And also like living in New York, Soho, Nolita, the East Village, Alphabet City. It's like rock New Goddess. I got my leather jacket. Like I got into like the black and like the grunge scene and CBGBs and like really obsessed with just like all the artists that were brought up at CBGBs.
Yeah.
And I would go to John Varvatos because that store on the Bowery is like where CBGBs was all those years ago. But like just I feel like that's where that persona kind of came from. And then the Shibuya meets Desert Princess is Soho because that's like where I saw these like really like dressed in all black, like really, really stylish Japanese boys coming into Soho. And I'm like, who are they? They're in like Yoji Yamamoto and like they're just so chic and different. And then moving to East Nashville, it's like the feng shui cowgirl and like vintage shopping and like pulling like Asian pieces in with like cow.
You could totally style Casey Musgraves with all
Oh my gosh.
influences.
Okay, that makes sense.
Because she loves all of those.
She's a feng shui cowgirl.
Yes.
And I also loaned her my jump rope at the Gym 5 in East Nashville.
Did you really?
Yes.
There you go. There's your in.
Yeah. I also waited on her at one of the restaurants in East Nashville.
Where did you work? What restaurant?
It was in 5 Points.
Oh,
it was like I can't even remember the name, but it was just like a hole in the wall.
Wow.
I didn't know it was Casey Musgraves. And I was like, who is that? I didn't even pay attention.
Yeah.
And then we connected at the gym and I was like, sorry if I was kind of bitchy to you, but
did you
say kind of bitchy to me too? But we hit it off over the jump rope. And I've messaged her before. I don't message celebrities, but I've definitely messaged her.
Can we like
Casey Musgraves?
I feel like I have found your stylist right here. Like you
borrowed my jump rope, and I used to get on that pole at the gym and practice.
But you actually would come up with great looks for her.
She's fun. I mean,
she is fun, and you guys share influences.
Yeah,
you also have very unique musical influences from who's the guy? Marilyn Manson.
Oh yeah, I mean
to Ozzy Osbourne.
Yeah, I love
to who else do you love?
Jack White. Smashing Pumpkins.
Mm-hmm.
The Smashing Pumpkins, their storytelling is like eerie and romantic and just like Cupid Daylock, which is just, I don't know.
And we also listen to Christian music.
Yes, and we like Joel
and Joel Osteen. Oh my God. You're like Southern, but this cool New York Soho gal, hip gal. You're all these things combined.
Yeah. It is what it is.
So you're going to take me, this is how we'll wrap this up.
Yeah.
We're going to do I don't know, record shop closet or just like you style me or something.
We should go to Starstruck Vintage in East Nashville because it's an open space and there's a big mirror and we can just like pick out some like pieces.
Okay. I like the colors white and black.
White and black.
And more than that. I'm starting to play. I want to play. I want to get out of the black.
I'm going to have to show you the cream dress that I've loved that just screams Emma.
Okay. But I feel like you're going to style Casey Musgraves. Or your paths will cross. Maybe at the gym with a jump rope.
Maybe I should. I don't even know where she is now. She has a new album.
She has a new album coming out.
Yeah. And it's so good. I mean, there's like, she's got a camo like sweatshirt in the grocery store.
In the grocery store.
Yeah.
She's cool. Well, thank you for coming on the podcast. We really tried to cram it all in.
It was, yeah.
I don't know how we did, but this is our first podcast.
If you edit, I think we'll do pretty good.
We'll do pretty good. Yeah. Okay. Thank you for sharing.
Oh, you're welcome.
And we have to go to Pastis now, right?
We have to go to dinner.
We have to go to dinner. Is your friend coming?
I need to check my phone.
Okay, we're good on time. We have like 5 minutes to get there and change and put makeup on.
Okay.
In my